Every year, Kenya needs at least 500,000 units of blood, but only manages to collect about half of that, which leaves pregnant mothers, accident victims, and cancer patients at risk. In Mombasa, where the shortage is also dire, a network of youth volunteers, medics, and everyday donors are stepping up to save lives, one pint at a time. Here is a story of struggle, hope, and heroism, showing what grassroots initiatives and multi-stakeholder efforts do to save lives. I am Asha Bikidusa, and this is Willow Stories. On August 18th, 2024, Mary Otieno, a mother of 5 from Kwabulo, nearly lost her life while giving birth to her youngest daughter.
Huyu wa mwisho ndio niliona hiyo shida peke yake. Lakini vile niliona hiyo shida, mimi nilikuwa nimemwachia tu Mungu juu sasa unajua wewe huwezi jua sababu ni nini. Alafu pale pia ukiwa pale huwezi jua pale utatoka vipi. Ni Mungu peke yake.
Her pregnancy journey was uneventful, bringing her joy. But at the tail end, something felt different.
Safari ya mtoto wangu wa mwisho ilikuwa tofauti na wengine. Juu yake ilikuja tofauti ni ilianza kwa mguu ilifura, ile design yenye haijawahi fura kwa hao wengine. Sasa ilikuwa imefura ikakuwa kubwa mpaka mwili ilikuwa inakuja nzito juu inafura ikisonga huko. Na siwezi tembea. Sasa ndio nikafikiria hapa siwezi kaa tu, acha niende kwa daktari nimuulize inaweza kuwa shida ni nini. Sasa ndio akapima, akapata damu ilikuwa imeshuka. Ndio akaenda akaniletea madawa za kuongeza madamu. Ndio nikarudi nayo, nikaendelea kutumia, nilitumia madawa. Ikiisha ikabidi niende tena nipime. Akanipima, akapata damu ilikuwa imepanda lakini haikuwa sawa bado. Akaenda akanunua dawa tena nyingine. Akanibadilishia dawa sasa.
When the day arrived, the delivery was smooth, but minutes afterwards, something went wrong.
Nilitoka hapa saa 12 nikienda. Nadhani ilikuwa na dakika zingine. Sasa nikifika pale sikukaa sana yani. Nilikaa tu kidogo na nikajifungua. Sasa vile nilijifungua tu vizuri, ndio after kuoga sasa nikakaa chini, nikikaa chini kunyonyesha mtoto nikaanza kusikia baridi. Sasa vile nilisikia baridi ilikuwa nzito ile yani si ya kawaida kwa binadamu, yani unasikia mwili inatetemeka. Ikabidi niite daktari akakuja, akaniuliza kama labda damu inatoka, nikamwambia hapana. Ilikuwa baada haijaanza kutoka. Baadaye kidogo ndio ikaanza. Kakuja na pressure.
Doctors quickly diagnosed postpartum haemorrhage (PPH), a leading cause of maternal death in Kenya. According to the Ministry of Health, 2 in every 5 maternal deaths in Kenya are caused by PPH.
Sasa vile ilizidi ndio ikabidi sasa nipelekwe kule hospitali kubwa.
Hospitali gani?
Makadara. Sasa vile nilipelekwa Makadara, nilikuwa niko hali mbaya juu sasa damu ilikuwa imetoka sana. Lakini kwa uwezo wa Mungu alikuwa upande wangu, kanijalia. Sasa vile nilifika kule, nikapelekwa hiyo sehemu nilipelekwa, nikaangaliwa. Lakini sasa vile nilifika kule ujue bado damu ilikuwa inaendelea kumwagika. Mpaka madaktari wenyewe sasa walikuwa wanashindwa wafanye nini. Walikuwa wanasema wanataka watoe kizazi. Mpaka wakanipa hiyo kitabu ni sign, nikasign. Sababu sasa ilibidi usign. Usipo sign si watakuacha au madaktari. Sasa nilisign, nikisha sign wakanipeleka huko. Wakifika huko, hiyo time wananipa kitabu ni sign tayari. Na daktari wewe daktari mwenye nakwambia kafika. Sasa huyo daktari ndiye akawaambia tusimtolee hii kwanza, hebu tujaribu na njia nyingine sasa. Unajua nawasikia kwa umbali, sikuwa nasikia tu hivi vile unaona sasa hivi tunasikia. Alikuwa nasikia kwa umbali sana. yani nasikia kwa mbali, yani kama nilikuwa nimeshafika hali nyingine. Sikianga nikiitwa, nikiulizwa maswali, unaulizwa unakaa wapi? Yani wajue kama akili iko na wewe hapo. Unakaa wapi? Nasema. Unaitwa nani? Nasema. Haya, wakanirudisha huku chini sasa. Wakanirudisha huku. Nasikia daktari mwingine anasema eti una bahati hujatolewa hiyo kizazi.
Mary's story reflects a wider crisis. According to the Kenya Tissue and Transplant Authority KTTA, Kenya needs at least 500,000 units of blood annually, but collects only 200,000 to 250,000 units, a 50% shortage. Mombasa County alone requires around 2,000 units of blood monthly, but collects only about 1,300 units, only 2 out of 3 units required. Keith Zero is the Mombasa County Blood Services Coordinator.
Currently, because of the schools, the schools are open, we are not badly off, but we've not reached our optimal levels. Yeah, our optimal levels are supposed to start from around 2,000 blood units per month on a monthly basis. And currently we are at 1,300 units. So we have a deficit of almost 700 units of blood.
Mombasa relies heavily on donors from high schools, colleges, and universities to meet its blood collection goals. But there are challenges. To bridge these gaps, the county partners with organizations like Red Splash, a youth-led initiative that organizes blood drives and connects donors to patients through a mobile app.
So we have the low season, according to us. Low season when, during the holidays, the school holidays, during Ramadan. So during those days we are down when it comes to collection, because almost 60% of our regular volunteer donor come from students. So we normally have a very difficult time when it comes to the holidays. So how we've been trying to mitigate on this is we have partnered with the likes of Red Splash, so much so that during those times they can give us as many open air blood drives as possible, because now we don't have the student. And of course the companies, we have companies around Mombasa. So those are the avenues that we use to get blood. But it's really hectic.
Mohammed Ali Mohammed is a 25-year-old university student at the Technical University of Mombasa and a regular donor.
I started when I was 18 back in high school once, but then I stopped a while till when I was 20, and in 2021 is when I started donating on a regular basis. I'd say it's empathy, because I've lost 2 of my grandparents to blood-related issues due to lack of blood.
For him, donating blood is personal. He has donated 17 times to date.
The main reason why I donate blood is just to empathize. I empathize with the people, and I like helping out because I know that I can make a difference to them. By donating blood, I can save a life, and that's our motto for the organization that I work with at Red Splash. We always strive to save a life, so we try delivering love, blood and smiles.
On average, Mohammed donates 3 to 4 times a year, maximizing the opportunities allowed by the health guidelines.
I try and maximize my donations, so I mostly donate like 3 to 4 times a year, because the maximum number is 4, so I normally go for 3 times a year. I think for someone who is viable for blood donation and doesn't want to donate blood, it's about time that they consider this, because at the end of the day you're saving a life. You can make a difference, and like we always say, not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes you just donate blood in order to be a hero, and we don't even do it for that. We do it for humanity, because we are all humans, and at the end of the day we help one another.
He urges others to donate too, particularly for rare blood types like O negative, which can be used by patients from all blood groups.
To embrace blood donation some more, because cases keep rising and rising. Sometimes you get blood groups such as O negative, which have no donors at all, while the donors sitting at home doing nothing. We should always try and educate ourselves.
Even as voluntary donors like Mohammed continue their noble initiative, cultural myths remain one of the biggest barriers to voluntary donation.
One of the most common shortages is we don't have a good pool of volunteer donors, yeah, because of one, we have donor apathy. Guys don't want to donate because of several reasons. One of them is the fear of the needle. Yeah, they feel like maybe it's painful. They can get maybe infection from just donating. Then there's the issue of cultural and religious beliefs. Some are prevented by their beliefs to donate. So we have a lot to do when it comes to blood donor education. We need to educate our population, our community, on the importance of blood donation.
Each blood request from a facility is an opportunity to save a person in need.
We have our WhatsApp, our WhatsApp for all the transfusion facilities. So we have contact personnel in each of the facilities. So in that WhatsApp, if at all there's an emergency, so that personnel places an appeal in that WhatsApp. Then whoever has that unit of blood, yeah, maybe near that facility, then they can give them. In one day, I can get as many as 10 appeal. Yeah, we have partners who helps us in mobilizing, whether relative replacement donors or volunteer donors. We have partners like Red Cross and Red Splash who help us to do those appeals to the community so that people or volunteer donor can come to the regional blood transfusion center to donate.
He admits grassroots initiatives like Red Splash play a critical role in making sure they get as much blood as they can.
They play a very critical role because to us, for example, Red Splash, they have an app. So every time they have an appeal, then they give it to us, and they organize blood drives. They organize blood drive in the community, in open air places within Mombasa County. So through those blood drives, we are able to collect several units of blood.
This, he says, is a multi-stakeholder approach with volunteers.
Then us as the blood bank and the phlebotomists at the regional blood bank, so we do the rest. Like we have the supplies, that is the blood bags, the purple top and the red tops for testing. And then we have the phlebotomist. So then they don't have the phlebotomist. Their part is mobilization. So they do it in a very good way. In fact, most of the time, we have incentives, like the T-shirt, pen, or caps to incentivize the regular blood donors. In schools, we partner with the county director of education. So at the start of the year, we go as Department of Health, we go to the county education office. We get a letter from them that will be getting into schools or during that. Normally it's given over the whole year. So over the whole year, that will be getting to schools to be doing one donor education and blood drive. So, and again, we have consent forms from the Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services. So normally we give them to schools, the management. So when we go for a blood donor talk, we leave those consent form with the management. So the students are given normally for the day scholars. So when they go home, they tell their parents and they're given that consent.
Hadija Mohamed Juma, a nurse and the founder of Red Splash, started organization in 2019 after a close friend's mother died because she couldn't get timely blood transfusion. Her role as a nurse has shaped her perspective on blood matters.
Right now, we have a maternity unit, and I see patients from time to time in need of blood. Most mothers after delivering, they get what we call postpartum haemorrhage, and it's basically the loss of a lot of blood after delivery, and they usually require blood to be transfused as soon as possible so that we don't lose these mothers. So yeah, I can say in my profession I get to see a lot of patients in need of blood as well.
Red Splash uses a smart donor algorithm to connect patients with compatible donors quickly.
In Red Splash, we have leveraged technology in saving patients' lives. We have a mobile application whereby through the application we have a smart donor algorithm that helps link a patient with a potential blood donor to donate for that patient. So we, apart from using technology, we've also revolutionized our blood drives into being fun festivals. We actually call them blood festivals because there's a lot of fun activities to attract a youthful audience who are the majority of our population. And yeah, we have games, we have music, we have competitions like eating competitions, things that attract youth. So we get good outcomes from our blood donation drives, and yeah, basically that's a plus on us. Anyone can donate blood, but we check on, there's an eligibility criteria. One has to have a certain weight. You're supposed to be of good health. Before donating blood, we usually check your blood pressure, we check your blood levels, if they're enough for you to donate. And yeah, so some of these are the things that we check. And most of the time we get youth who usually pass most of these criteria. And yeah, so basically we mostly do our blood drives in what do you call them, universities, colleges, because we get most of the youth there, and also in outside settings.
Since its founding, the organization has conducted over 500 blood drives, collected more than 75,000 pints of blood, registered about 3,000 regular donors.
Since then, we've been able to do over 500 blood drives. We've been able to collect over 25,000 pints, and that's saving over 75,000 lives, because each pint that is donated is usually separated into three components. And with that, we are grateful because we've also been able to register over 3,000 voluntary donors who have now become regular donors, and through them we're able to save so many patients' lives.
The journey of a donated pint is meticulous. At Chuda Sub-County Hospital, Teddy Juma, a laboratory technologist, explains that every donation starts with a thorough health check.
So there are many facets, many boxes to check. For instance, the underlying diseases. For example, someone is probably suffering from diabetes, or some people might come to donate. They think donating is just giving blood, and probably they have underlying diseases that cannot make that blood be given to another person. Yeah. So we explain to them as we check the checklist, a weighing weight measuring machine, and of course we must have a blood pressure machine also. We are allowed to just check because on the checklist we have a place to write it down before we do anything. because of course we have a range of weight. Someone below 50 kilograms cannot be allowed. And of course their ages, especially women, there's a certain age you reach, you cannot be allowed to donate blood. Yeah. For instance, for men, probably after 50, 55. For ladies, depending on the level of HB, for instance, because we do that on spot. We do blood sugars on spot and give them the results. Advise them the prerequisites, what are required before you even donate, because you cannot come and donate when you are fasting, for instance. Yeah, you need to donate when probably you have some energy, and that means you have to take some food. Yeah, and that would allow you withstand that, because donating blood means, you know, you're trying to retract much of your energy, because of course blood has glucose that enables a person to run day-to-day activities. So when we remove blood from you, definitely you are getting a fuel from a car that is moving. Yeah, so we need to refill you as well.
Once collected, the blood is sent to the Regional Blood Transfusion Center (RBTC) for screening and processing. From there, it is dispatched to hospitals that request it for patients. Rukia Ahmed, the lab manager at Chuda Sub-County Hospital, ensured that the storage protocols are followed strictly.
Request blood from RBTC using a certain tool, and we usually receive through a cold chain that we have to have a cooler box and a pack with ice packs. So when we receive blood at the facility, we usually regroup them, because to confirm that this is blood, all blood group positive, and confirm it's also blood group positive on our side. So we have this tool. We receive blood, which blood group, when is the blood group, when is the blood expiring, and we are supposed to return the unit within 10 days, so that it does not expire at our facility. So when we fill this tool, we usually arrange them in orders. We have A blood group positive, B, AB, and O positive. So we usually we have a shortage of negative blood groups. As we are aware, these are rare blood groups. So in case we have negative blood patients, we usually call the RBTC to confirm.
The facility uses a special fridge with a transparent glass door to reduce unnecessary opening and maintain optimal storage temperature conditions.
We want to maintain, we call it a cold chain. We maintain the same, the way the blood was on the patients from donor to the patient. We don't want to change. The red blood cells viability should be the same.
With shortages persisting, county officials are encouraging hospitals to use blood products instead of whole blood whenever possible. Experts agree that moving from whole blood transfusion to blood components could make Kenya's limited supply serve more people.
We tell our subscribers to make sure they utilize whatever the units of blood that we have in a good way. Yeah, they should weigh before subscribing or requesting for blood. They should be sure that yes, indeed, this is a very dire situation. There are shortages because one, we have the maternal cases, we have the cancer cases, a lot of them in most of our hospitals. So no matter what we do, so that we alleviate, we don't have that in a big way, the shortage in a big way. We have our WhatsApp, our WhatsApp for all the transfusing facilities. So we have contact personnel in each of the facilities. So in that WhatsApp, if at all there's an emergency, so that personnel places an appeal in that WhatsApp. Then whoever has that unit of blood, yeah, maybe near that facility, then they can give them, so that at least a patient doesn't lose that life.
A 2022 audit by the Office of the Auditor General echoed this recommendation, noting that component therapy improves both safety and quality because each product can be separately tested and quality assured. Globally, the WHO reports that 91% of donated blood in high-income countries is processed into components, compared to 72% in the middle income and 31% in low-income countries. Kenya's blood system is also constrained by outdated frameworks. The Kenya Human Tissue and Organ Transplant Bill of 2024, which could formalize blood donation regulation, remains pending in Parliament. Grassroots initiatives like Red Splash, improved logistics at hospitals, and policy reforms at the national level are slowly shifting the tide, because sometimes saving a life really does come down to just one pint. Ashabi Kidusa for Willow Stories.